Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Edgeworth Investigations. Over the weekend, I've been very excited to get back to this, as well as Astrobot. Unfortunately, tomorrow, we have another brand new thing coming out. Persona 3's big DLC is coming out tomorrow, which we will be playing. So, I'm gonna play like 3-4 hours of this, and then we're gonna do Astrobot later, and then tomorrow we'll do Persona. So, yeah, we got a pretty packed week, but I'm very excited to get into it, and I just want to apologize straight off the bat, because it is now spring, and oh boy, I'm feeling the hay fever. I've taken some antihistamine meds, so hopefully that'll help when it kicks in. But yeah, we're gonna hop right back in. So two cases in a row, we've been framed for murder. As you can see, the angry potato man is, well, he's angry. And now we gotta clear our name, once again. Ah, my law book. My big book of the law. With a funny little bookmark in it. Over halfway through. It's my seat. Unfortunately, I didn't bring anything particularly useful for an investigation. It's not as if I'm constantly prepared for such a thing to occur. Well, maybe you should be. After all, it's like every other time. This was Mr. Hicks' seat. I don't see the machine Mr. LeBlanc was talking about.
Perhaps it's in the elevator?
I don't remember your voice sounding that horrible. Well, we should probably head down to the crime scene now. Ah! My sinuses are all fucked up. Don't get too near me, criminal.
He said, "Don't get near me, you criminal."
I'm not a killer, and I intend to prove that starting now.
That's to the contrary of the facts. He says, but that's contrary to the facts.
I can understand his English just fine, thank you very much. What's this? What's a lifesaver doing here?
I bought it at a flight shop just beyond the lounge. If something should happen, having will save your life.
I think this guy should be better off not taking it to, taking a plane to begin with. Also, you know, what if we're above land and not sea? Sure, if we're above sea, maybe. If you survive the drop. If I may have a word with you. This steak is so awesome. That's great to hear. However, I'd like to ask you a few questions. I was here the whole time, so wouldn't know much about it. Eat or speak? Please pick one.
I think he chose to eat.
Yes, I can hear that. Hey, Laser. Hey, miss. How about another glass? Excuse me, but I was wondering if you knew anything about the murder. How about it? How about another glass together? Sorry, but I must decline. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the cute attendant. Yes, and I said I'd decline.
I'm sorry, but I'm on the clock right now. But if you need a refill, I'd be happy to bring you another glass at any time.
You got it, Toots. That's no way to talk to a lady. Ooh, I can go this way? Oh, we took the stairs. March 12th, 7:26 a.m. Flight G390, first floor lounge. Ah, there's his body. Nobody's cleaned it up yet. I want to thank you for your help back there, Mr. Nero.
I was nothing. Big man with a big burly chest. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you. Not even if your big pectorals are pulsating at me. Your standing with me hasn't changed one iota.
I see. I will bear that in mind.
I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that we reserve the right to stop your investigation if we feel you're not making any progress. And when we do, he asks that you please return to your seat at that time.
So my time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might hide on board?
I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes in first class without a staff key card.
I'm gonna guess it's like the one guy that actually has a character. You know, all the other passengers are just passenger, so... Unless there's a character we haven't met yet. It's pretty obvious who killed him.
And we found no record of keycard being used at all.
Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Begin investigation! Oh shit! Now then, let's get started. Alright, you get his feet, I'll get his, shoulders.
Where are we gonna take him?
I don't know. I just wanted to move him. I need to use the elevator.
Where should we start from?
Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means the killer was around somewhere.
If we're to believe what you say is true, then yeah.
The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. Yeah, true. The first two are always easy. At least they didn't outright tell us who it was this time. These counter windows offer a glimpse to the sky. These clouds, they tell me nothing.
Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds.
Angry prosecutor yelling at clouds. Is that so? Then tell me, what do you suppose I said to them?
I don't know, but it looked like it was a rather one-sided conversation.
The clouds, they tell me nothing. Oops. Ah! Hay fever! I already need a sneeze. Oh my god. Fuck. Why can't it just be winter all the time? Why does it have to be spring? Okay. The glass is broken. Oh god. Sorry. Oh, come on, if I'm gonna sneeze, at least do it quickly. You're interested in both games instead of just one? Well, that's nice to hear. And guess what? Tomorrow's Persona Day, so you'll have 3 games to be excited for. These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through this area.
Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, and how handsome you are, and how there's a convenient storeroom with nobody in there and it can be locked from the inside, know that it does not clear up any suspicions I have about you.
I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name.
This door leads to the flight attendant's room, but please understand that it's off limits to unauthorized personnel.
The room is giving off a scent of women's perfume. One would think that perfume would smell great, however, to me it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies behind this door. I have no interest in women.
Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth?
Sorry, I spaced out there for a second.
This grand piano is the pride of this plane.
By the way, me just like clicking everything, I'm not gonna run out of time doing this, right? I think that's just like a stakes setter. I don't think there's actually a timer going on.
This grand piano is the pride of this plane. It can play the music of whatever CD we insert into its CD drive.
What? That's not a piano, it's more like an overgrown music box.
Ah, but it's keys to press along with the music, as though there's someone really playing it.
Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. Like you. Go, you! There are a few copies of Sky Magazine in the magazine rack.
This month's special is an English trivia quiz.
That's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know a particle from a participle.
Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Whoever's heard of such a silly word as participle?
Case in point. I've never heard of participle either. Okay, wait a minute, this might be important. License to laugh, to love, laugh, maim, and genre, suspense, hard-boiled article, runtime 120 minutes. Okay, I think the movie might actually have something to do with the case. 120 minutes, specifically right there for all to see, and there was a poster of it? Best restaurant in the sky, featuring items from around the world's restaurants. Treat yourself to a cuisine of the gods. Flight itinerary. Meals 2, 8. There was a meal at 6, wasn't there? Movie was 6 to 8. Wait, but what's AM or PM? I don't know. I mean, that's time, right? It's gotta be. And if I were to guess, it's probably AM to PM. So 6 AM to 8 is the movie. Interesting. So maybe they used the movie as a distraction. While everybody was watching the movie, they went and did the murder. If you require assistance at any time, please use the call button above your seat and the flight attendant will be with you shortly. Interesting. What floors does this elevator service?
Only the first and second, although it can go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard.
So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second, I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Go, you airline's little tanuki. What is this sinister-looking figure on the floor here?
Oh, that's a piggy bank of our company mascot, Captain Hugo. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is limited edition, and so it's so popular that we're down to our last one.
You have an in-flight shop?
Yep, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered.
There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? Interesting. Let's take a little look at it. Oh, wait, never mind. It's a puzzle piece, huh? Okay. Money? Money is strewn all over the floor about the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks' wallet at some point. Oh, there's a credit card there, too. I don't know what was hanging off of this lanyard. Something's missing from this picture. Oh, if I could just put my finger on it. His lanyard. I mean, his travel wallet, maybe? I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight. The button on the elevator? I mean, yeah, but we don't really have access to a forensics team. We can't get fingerprints. Especially if we're to figure it out right now.
So, Mr. Hicks, he's really dead?
What are you, stupid? He's dead on the floor right there in front of you! Does it look like he's fucking breathing, you moron? You didn't even check for a pulse after you fucking incarcerated me with rope? Worst flight attendant ever. Yes, what are you saying? She's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there. But what a baby, am I right?
Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes.
Yes, I'm dead. Thank you for asking. I see she is over the trembling now, though a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks' head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to be struck very hard. Okay, well there we go. We can put the 2 and 2 together. Even his glasses are broken. Ooh. That's an interesting little tidbit. Connect the 2! A statue with blood on it lying next to a body of a man who was beaten to death. But was he beaten off to death? I can't tell.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out.
Yes, what is it?
The way the blood on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head.
You didn't... What? You didn't figure that out. That's just how it is. Yeah, I mean, that's what she asked. It was like a genie, you know? She wasted her one wish. Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Thanks, Edgeworth. I'm glad we're on the same page here.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating?
What do you think I pulled you over here to tell you? It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon.
Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection.
Perhaps Master of Oblivious would be more befitting. Now I can actually look at it. There's some blood on one of the corners. Could this piggy bank be the murder weapon? It says Go You Airlines. You know, I've seen it occur a lot recently, and it's been bothering me greatly. But why do some brands think it's acceptable to simply smash 2 words together and call it a day? We had a clock, now a piggy bank. I suppose this is where you insert your coins. I have to say, for a piggy bank, it's made rather well. So well, in fact, that I'm not sure there was any way to take your money out. Oh wait, yeah, there's like no hole. Maybe you can pull the guy off. He's really cute though. I like him a lot actually. He's very adorable. He's very adorbs, one could say. Alright. Can we put anything else together? Broken glass. Broken glasses. Elevator. I mean, the murderer could have killed him on the first floor and then taken the elevator down to... Killed him on the first floor, sent the elevator down to the second floor. You know, to make some confusion. Or maybe they went down to the cargo hold, killed him, and he sent them up. That could have happened. Is there more here? There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I'm just gonna call it wine whenever they say... well, actually no, alcohol does exist. Didn't Big Boss say that and just they used grape juice instead? Just for goofs? I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. I mean, it's supposed to be wine. It's supposed to be wine. Look at it. That's wine right there. That's not grape juice. Grape juice doesn't come in a big fucking wine bottle. You don't drink grape juice out of wine glasses.
Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt.
Aha!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I found some very important evidence. Maybe it's the fucking footprints?
Take that!
What is it?
They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree that there's a set of footprints.
So you think?
Yes, these belong to our killer.
Oh, then maybe we could check out the shoe sizes of everyone in first class.
I don't think that'll be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match.
Oh, I see.
Pity that the bronze statue knows not when good drink has been spilled at its feet.
This is a statue of our founder, Mr. Hugo Hughes.
Is that supposed to be a pun? Mr. Hugo... Oh, Hugo Airlines. Go You Airlines. I guess. Yeah.
Who is a big fan of grape juice. I'm sure he'd be thrilled to know if he'd be thrilled if he knew so much grape juice was here at his feet.
Is that a hint of hero worshipping I detect? Glasses and candles thrown into disarray by the turbulence.
It's been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second. I frantically started searching for gas valves to shut off.
I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it. Yeah, because you're a big baby. Just toppled over a chair. Yet another victim of the turbulence.
Ah, no, look at all that grape juice staining the back. I mean, look at, but this chair was extremely valuable.
It was. Looks like a $40 chair from eBay.
Yes, it was used when the Rocker Pals came to tour this plane. The Rocker Pals leader sat in this very chair.
I'm sorry, but what are these rocker pals?
Can't believe you've never heard of them. They're all the rage. The Rocker Pals are an extremely popular international band. They added the Pals part as they became more popular, especially among teens.
Ah, well that explains it. I'm not really one for music. I hate sounds of any kind. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe about them later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing the conversation would get. Yeah. Well, to be fair, Edgeworth is at the scene of a crime like every other day of his life. I get over it. What? Who is this?
This is a bronze statue of the founder Go You Airlines, Mr. Hugo Hughes. The one on the left is when he was in his 40s, and the other one is him in his 80s.
They look exactly the same. Did the man age at all over those 4 decades? Maybe I need to squint more. Can't interact with the bucket. It was his father.
The in-flight shop is just beyond these shutters. But we don't have permission to open them, so I'm afraid I must leave them closed.
There must still be clues to be found here in this lounge. I must remain ever vigilant. Well, I mean... we can go a-boom and a-boom, you know? Can I connect these two? Oh, or not. Oh! Ah! Ah! There's something else to check out here. Oh! His shoes! There's no grape juice residue on the soles of his shoes, making it highly unlikely that Mr. Hicks entered this elevator after the turbulence. Okay. Alright, is that everything? Yes? It still has a... what haven't I... It does that when you haven't found anything, right? Oh, in his pocket! There's something sticking out of his pocket. Hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. Looks like this was taken inside a building somewhere. Ooh, he did have something around his little necktie. Oh, the deuce?
Eureka!
The crime scene completely contradicts this piece of evidence. Okay, yeah. I was like, okay, how do I point out that he's missing his thing on his lanyard? I'm sorry, but where? Oh, I see the truth. Ow, I couldn't have pointed it out. Oh, wait. Other way around, doofus.
Eureka!
Eureka! Mr. Hicks' machine is nowhere to be found.
His machine?
His cell phone, Mr. Nero.
So I guess because it's not here.
Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. Missing cell phone data jotted down on the organizer. Why does it still look like that? I mean, do we have his number? Okay, yeah, now we're done. Okay. Wait. Let's save real quick. Ask around. We already did, but... No, we can't go back up. Let's do some deducing. Alright. Victim's glasses are broken. Were they broken during his murder? What clues point to where the killer could have been? Oh, did I do grape juice and then that? Wait, maybe it's that and then that. No. Do these fit together? The victim's body was found inside the elevator that connects 1 and 2. Maybe that? Yeah, okay. True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. Alright, he got out here. In the elevator with Hicks. If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Oh, now they spilled grape juice? Because he got off on this floor. Yeah! I have it!
I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth.
I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder.
What? Really? Does it have to do with those footprints that you didn't make because I found you before you walked that way?
Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather, the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me the very fact that someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person.
But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself?
Ah, but if you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see that the soles are spotless.
Which means...
Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator at the time. Why are we so close right now? Hey, get back! I only got eyes for one man. What's going on over there? Oh yeah, wait, her.
Unforgivable. This is unforgivable.
The really cute waitress. Or waitress.
Unforgivable. This is unforgivable. Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late.
She could be the killer. I hope not. She's cute.
It's the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are wasting my time! What's the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there's no emergency, please return to your seat, sir. Do not tell me what to do! I need not to sit down! Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet?
If you would like, I'll prove my innocence to you right now.
What? Nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony was mistaken?
Not mistaken, merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more.
Fine, suit yourself.
I did see that you sent it to me, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that before. That's by Terminal Montage, right? I love that guy. Speaking of, Terminal Montage actually just started his own, pilot show. It's really, really good. I would definitely recommend it.
I'm certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal.
Mr. LeBlanc's conclusion seemed to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time, of the murder was me.
So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see. Hurry, do I look like a man who's having the time to wait for you?
Why is he so irritated? I'm the one being accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast. Alright. Well, can we just, present the footprints? Right away? Probably not, but let's try. Oh, well.
Yes, the old word contradictus.
You're correct, but what does that have to do with our present situation?
The word compromised of the parts against and speak. I dare say I don't deal in such double talk. My art's dealings are clean.
It's all well and good, however, about this piece of evidence...
There's no value in that, and I'm not interested in buying that from you.
There's plenty of value in it, even just superficially. Alright, I guess I'll just bloop.
Hold it.
That is the most mistaken way of thinking I've ever heard.
No, no, no! Your silly opinion is what is mistaken! Please calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you're both mistaken.
Well, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. He certainly has a lot of confidence in his testimony. Push comes to shove, I may need to press him for more information.
Hold it!
I assume the pocket watch in this case is the one you keep checking, is that correct?
Oh, you noticed. It is very expensive antique, I'll have you know. The feeling is wonderful when I fully wind it up by hand.
It does look very well designed and quite classy.
I'll have to charge you if you want to touch it.
That's quite all right. Let's continue with your testimony, shall we?
What a cheap man you are. Now return the time you wasted back to me. And if we must, I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator at 6 o'clock.
music is great. It really is.
Hold it!
It's true that I found the victim's body at 6:15.
That's when I found the two of them as well.
You see, it all matches my testimony. Okay, well, I haven't pressed this one yet. Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course I saw what was inside. And you're sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person that was inside was Mr. Hicks. This last outburst is a bit too important to let go. Was that Mr. Hicks, man?
Hold it!
What does that mean? Was he really alone? Of course! I'll even bet 1 cent! A cheap ante for a cheap testimony. But if that's how you want to play it, I'll happily take your 1 cent. Okay. Is Mr. Hicks a woman? Ackby Hicks. The two people evidence? Well, we don't really have that. I mean, it's this, really. But maybe that's what they want me to do?
Objection!
Yeah, they wanted me to do that. I couldn't just straight up throw it out there. Mr. LeBlanc. What is it? There's a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a good look at the area in front of the elevator. There, the spilled grape juice. Yes, and will you admit that you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. Footprints? Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive. Oh! There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth?
Can you please translate for us?
Oh my goodness, she is even sluttier in the front. Oh my god. Is that her nip hanging out? Like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, wait, that's totally impossible. I guess that's what he said.
No way! That's totally impossible. I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes!
You want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us.
I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then, what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please, just once more, will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? She really is. What I saw, part 2. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. Was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me. And I saw clearly into the elevator when he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one!
Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down.
What? Dare you to have an issue with my eyewitness testimony?
No, not at all. Please forget I said anything.
Yet again, it doesn't seem to... He doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as truth. Alright, let's tear it apart. Limb by limb.
Hold
Why? So, you're still upset now?
I'm always upset. The only time I'm not is when I have a piece of art in my hands.
It's surprisingly easy to believe that about him.
But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by.
Hold it!
Why? 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 Why?
Because something unforgivable was happening.
Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier.
I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to me my time in money! You understand the point.
Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? Yeah, right there, 6 to 8. Summary of the plot and its starting time. Interesting.
They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I can't see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights.
Or, you know, if you go to a different country, like the one flight you're on, you could see it there, but... Or download NordVPN, the sponsor of today's stream. Stole money from his wallet, that's why it was... maybe.
I looked forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket watch whenever possible, so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. The movie was still late. Very, very late.
Hold it!
Your pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little more about it, if that's alright.
Hold it!
So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed in the Sky magazine?
Yes! I was so looking forward to watching License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder.
Mr. Nero, was this movie shown on this flight?
Yes, it was shown at the scheduled time.
Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident?
Nonsense! You doubt me?
No, stop pointing at me like that. What? How did you miss a movie that I was clearly hoping to see?
I checked my pocket watch a great number of times. That's much I know for sure.
Well, yeah, set to the destination's time. Your watch is fast, dude. We're not even at the destination yet.
Hold it!
You're sure about what you just testified, Mr. LeBlanc?
Yes, of course. I'm a very busy man. I am immediately busy when I land. I have many places to go and no time to waste adjusting my pocket watch.
I see. That was a very valuable statement you just made.
Flatter me all you want, but you will not get a cent out of me.
That's alright. All I require is this piece of testimony. I always said it when you board a plane. The way Edgeworth talked about it, I guess he made a contradiction. It's 120 minutes. So that's 2 hours. Which is the exact amount of time from 6 to 8. Yeah, it was being shown at the time of the murder. Do I present it here?
Objection!
No. I guess I'll just finish pressing him first.
Hold it!
Since you only happened to see him, it's possible that you missed something in that glance.
Even if I only happened, I did not miss a thing.
How can you be so sure?
Just because.
I would appreciate it if you didn't take my life so lightly. With a simple just because.
Well then, I was only making a joke. I saw Mr. Hicks all right.
Okay, this one he's really sweating. Maybe I poke him here?
Objection!
I mean, it's obviously at the time. He was yelling about it. So maybe this one then?
Objection!
Yeah, there we go. I should have known it was on the one they talked about it. Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony. Now, if your watch had been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination.
Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents.
I'd like you to take a look at this. If you believe the Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created for that time in mind. Miss Tenero, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now?
Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point.
That's right. It was in the small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa.
But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at the time. So right now, we're still running on Borginian time. What?
The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule.
What?
Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony. And you can bet $1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m. Oh, shit!
Why $1,000,000 cents?
This should clear up all remaining accusations.
So this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right?
Yes, but because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m., it means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15. The question now is where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing?
I've got something to say.
And you are?
Oh yeah, I got big titties and this cute little plushie. I'm Chamomile.
Chamomile tea?
I'm a flight attendant.
And what is it you wish to say?
But I think your story's a little different from how I remember it. My big old titties remember it differently. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks in his seat at 5 a.m., you know.
What? How can you be so sure of that time?
Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point.
This flight will be making a brief stop to refuel and transfer cargo in the Republic of Zhengfa between 4 and 5 a.m. We ask that all passengers remain on board at that time. Thank you for cooperation. Refuel and transfer cargo. Cargo. So the stop we've made for refueling the cargo transfer in Zhengfa, correct?
Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks.
So right before then, he went into the cargo hold. That seems right. During that time, did any of the passengers leave, or did any new ones board this flight?
Nope. Not a single person got off or on in Zhengfa.
What about the flight crew?
few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on or off, but eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back onto the plane.
She looks so chill. She's probably the murderer. It's probably Cammy. I mean, look at her. Sexy. Got a cute little plushie. Long flowing hair. Yeah, she's definitely murderer material. So basically, I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting, I should keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I answered his call. I can hear that Mr. Acme Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m.
Alright. That puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m.
Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth?
I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zangfar. Ah! You were here from the whole time from 5, yes? Then you were the only one who could be the killer. Oh, shit. Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean, Mr. Edgeworth? Are you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards?
Unfortunately, yes. But then how do we explain the footprints?
I mean, how do we explain the footprints? Sorry. Oops, that's twice now.
It's not that obvious. This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge. Waited to kill him. And then he put the corpse into the elevator. And then Big Boss raided the stream. Thank you for raiding. I lost 1 million cents, so it's all your fault. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony must have been mistaken. But what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the 2nd floor does not matter. Because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. Everything happened here in this lounge. Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? Or do you have another idea? I simply feel that there's something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there anything that can tie the crime to a location other than this lounge? 5 to 6:15. Proof it wasn't in the lounge? All the money on the floor in there?
Take that!
I don't need to hear your wild desperation stories. Grasping for weeds, I think is how you say it, yes? Didn't mean to pull that piece out. It was a simple slip of the hand, I assure you. You're beating some boys. Wait, this is from the on-flight shop. Interesting. Something that can tie this crime to a location other than the lounge? The in-flight shop, I guess.
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. You want a compliment, Big Boss? Well, you're incredibly sweet for rating us all the time. I really appreciate it. You never have to, but, you know, it's really nice of you to do. What I'm trying to say is, you have a very big penis, and for that, I applaud. Sold there, it's sold there and only there, and it's not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you're innocent at all. Is there no way to win with this man? Hold it!
If I may.
What is it?
You see, well, it's just that it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says.
Oh, and why do you know this so well?
It's just that That piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes.
When was this?
It was maybe around 5:40 a.m.
Isn't that just before we hit the patch of turbulence?
That's right.
You were in the shop just before the turbulence?
Yeah, I was.
Come to think of it. Mr. Nero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door.
Yes, I did.
What's beyond that door?
That's the flight attendant's room.
Then, you were on the first floor?
Yes? I had to do something at the shop in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room.
Are you saying you passed by me at some point?
Yes, you seemed really into the issue of Sky Magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by.
I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was.
Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there.
Why'd you go to the shop in the first place?
I went there for work-related matter.
Work, you say?
Yeah, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities.
Why did you say nothing about this until now? In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well.
Shall we head over there then?
I haven't toggled on the old character sprites yet. But maybe I will. Let's have a little look. Reader. Gameplay? Oh, I guess I can't. I guess you have to go into it with that. No. That might be a bit annoying, because I definitely would prefer this art style over the pixel one, but I wouldn't mind looking at it. What is it now?
Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Rhoda cock! Haha, got him! Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I've already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're alright. That's so weird.
What is?
Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all.
What's the meaning of this, Miss Tenero?
It means he's lying. Come on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't. And yet, here you are.
You, flight attendant! What are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us?
Captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way.
Miss Tenero, why would you do such a thing?
Please excuse me. I have to go fucking flick my goddamn pig.
Sorry.
Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I'll be your guide from now on. And I'll just unclip one more button and...
She really isn't wearing a bra. She's just straight up not wearing a bra. There's no bra there. You're just not wearing anything under that uniform, are you? Something about Miss Tenero that's piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. %50 off sale. Ooh, it is broken open. So this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here.
You think? Guess I have to clean things up then, teehee.
Hold on! You can't clean up a potential crime scene. That's totally not how, that's totally not how. Laser, I can get a drool bucket, why don't you?
Oh, thank goodness, I hate cleaning so much. I much prefer making a mess if you catch my drift, Mr. Edgeworth. Is your finger the only thing that's that long, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mustn't rush things here. Must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. That's always your excuse. It's a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Oh, you think? You think one of the flight attendants broke that glass? The glass from this display case's door is shattered all over the floor. And it looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat. Well, those little guys all have captain's hats. So... I would assume that the captain's hat goes on the funny guy. The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. And shump! Oh, you look at him! I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from the display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it? I mean, it looks like it was broken from the inside, but let's just not even go there.
Really?
Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in the shop.
But I don't. Don't even come down here. I just don't fucking wear any clothes or anything. Mr. Rhoda's in charge of this place. So come now, how should I know anything?
I sense the further inspection of this display case is needed. This could be where he broke his glasses. Beautiful flowers and a beautiful arrangement. I feel cleansed just by looking at them.
Well, you're kind of stepping on a few of them, you know, Mr. Edgeworth.
No, excuse me. What are these?
Oh, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases.
They're enormous. Holy... You could fit a whole corpse in here.
They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. Ooh, you wouldn't regret it.
Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world, you try, then buy.
No way. But either way, it doesn't really matter.
True, either way. Why would anyone buy a suitcase after they've boarded a plane?
Anyway, see that?
The acing attorneys.
Just look at all the Captain Hugo heads painted on their cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he could just jump out at you?
It is certainly making something jump inside my stomach. My penis.
Huh? Oh, I guess you're one of those furries, huh? Yeah. You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was gonna finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. That's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay?
But I never showed any interest in it to begin with.
See? It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You wanna know something? This suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda.
Miss Tenero designed this.
Yeah, it was a company-wide contest.
Well, it does have a very sharp design sense.
Sharp? Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe? I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so bleh.
Miss Tenero designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. I don't hate it.
You okay?
I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Mio. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation. Plane shaking caused it to roll. In-flight suitcase displays can be hazardous. Interesting. Maybe this rolled into whoever came through here.
Here, put it back.
No, 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 no. Don't crash the plane. No, no. It's Inside this display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests for sale.
We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. Some people try to buy them when there's nothing going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one?
I sense this shop is one shopper away from being sued. There are all kinds of luxury name brand merchandise on sale in this display case. They're all lined up in such a manner as to scream, "Buy me!" to any passengers by. Hit the McDonald's. Stuffed toys, just like the one Miss Meal is holding on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly.
How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? You know you want one too.
I actually do kind of want one. He's really cute.
They're great for when you're stressed.
Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? I don't know. Why do you, Edgeworth? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. The glass on the door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank? It's a bit odd. The inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Exactly! The glass broke rather cleanly. What is it?
I touched the glass and it cut my finger.
Yeah, it looks like we found someone to dethrone Captain Obvious.
It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth. It hurts. Put my finger in your mouth.
Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own. How long until we get to Edgeworth's suitcase and let Gumshoe out? He probably would carry him in his suitcase. Or at least Gumshoe would sneak in there. Well, I think we can deduce that it probably wasn't someone breaking in. Rather, a suitcase probably broke it. That's probably where they're going with it. Wait, did the suitcase not get added to my itinerary? I guess not. Isn't this the same man that was portrayed at the statues of the elevator?
Yeah, that's the paperweight of the founder, Go You Airlines, Mr. Hugo Hughes.
Yeah, he is definitely... He's definitely a stowaway.
The bottom shelf, we have a cute one. The middle shelf is the realistic one.
The top shelf.
It's the floral version.
Floral. Are you sure about that? Let me guess, you just said the first thing that came to your mind, right? Well, I mean, that looks like a flower. It's like a little rose. Looks like you hit the bullseye. They didn't want any other charges. Go You Airlines related books line on the shelf. The history of Go You Airlines. The future of Go You Airlines. The 7 wonders of Go You. Fight on, Go You Airlines. Working name, Hugo Airlines. You go you. Ooh, heart emoji. The titles make it very clear that they can't be making the top sellers list anytime soon. Alright, well... It's the glass. Maybe I don't have it. Oh, look at his little hat. Hat on his head was found inside the display case in the in-flight shop. I wonder if that fact has any bearing on this case. Yeah, well, I mean, You definitely would say something like that. Blood? Yeah, we already looked at the blood. Oh, wait. I haven't looked at everything yet. Oh, wait. Door handle. For security, there's a lock on this display case. Miss Meal, if I may ask about this lock.
The one who's in charge of the shop is Miss Rhonda, so, she's got the keys to all the display cases.
I see.
Oh, I thought you want to buy something. Do you want me to go get the key from her?
No, that's all right. Has the murderer ever ran around with us? Not yet. I mean, we've only done one case later, so, I mean, is it Rhonda or is it Miss Meal? I think she just is that. One of these guys is knocked over, by the way. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. Suitcase, broken glasses. That could, you know what? It could. He could have fallen over and got his glasses broken like that, maybe. Alright, I'm gonna try the other way around. Because sometimes that does have a bearing. Okay, no. Well, I just lost a lot of points. Save. There is more. Years. Okay. Can't go back. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh no, that's just this. I guess we just have to deduce. Hydrate? Whoa, no. Deduce this? There's definitely something very unusual about this. Okay, then, yeah. I mean, I thought that was pretty obvious.
I'll hydrate again? I just drank all my...
Look, I have some water in my fridge. Let me put this water bottle in there. Swap them out. Whopper. Whopper, Whopper, Whopper. Big Mac, bubble, Okay, I shouldn't have done that. I spat water on my leg. There's definitely something very unusual about this.
About what?
The killer had broken the glass to get at the Captain Hugo bank. There should be shards of glass inside the case itself.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that.
I said that right away, by the way. Just want to say that. It looks like it was broken from the inside. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case.
No. No, there isn't.
Which means the glass was broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence right through the glass.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor.
I mean, it must have been some hell of turbulence if a fucking tiny little piggy bank broke a whole glass case. And not like the big full bust statues in the other shelf. I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off his head at the time, too.
That's nice.
Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Captain Hugo bank from here after the turbulence. Okay. I've got a feeling she's the killer. I feel like she's pretending, like our dear pasta shop owner and our doofus who switched faces with her sister. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Meal, and listen when I'm talking. But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon.
So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake?
Yes, at this point, that's a very real possibility.
But then, like, what if when the killer went to take Captain Hugo, they broke the glass by accident?
This display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but there's one person who could have.
You know, and who would that be?
Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys and everything.
Miss Rhoda Tenero, huh? The reason for the turbulence was because the pilot saw Meal. Yeah, he put it on autopilot while he was, you know, getting a little handsy. Alright, let's see here. Turbulence. Suitcase. Oh, maybe I could put that together. Hop blue! Yes, there's definitely something wrong here.
What's the sudden yelling?
Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases?
Oh, well, sure, they totally ooze strange, like the color and such.
That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention.
You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth. It's kind of turning me on.
Sorry, I'm not into women. Ahem. These suitcases are lined up in a bit too prim and proper.
Yeah, they look a bit too uptight, like you, Edgeworth. But I guess they take after their creator. Tee.
Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find the answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous.
Tee. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard you say that. What's wrong?
She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something that's not quite right. What's so unusual about this suitcase? It doesn't have this! There's nothing stopping it. Something very peculiar about these wheels.
Huh? As in,
there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying.
and...
And so it's very likely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit the turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? If Capcom sold these suitcases as merch, would I buy one? I definitely would take it if I was given one. Buy it? But it would be kind of funny to get one for free. This was apparently designed by Miss Tenero herself. The design was a certain je ne sais quoi about it. Yeah, perhaps that's the best way to put it. The mirror would appear to be locked. Unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. Ah! Blood-stained clothes! And it's soaked with blood.
It's blood!
It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. Investigation complete.
So explain this to me. What does this suitcase have to do with the murder? Like, I know it went flying, it hit me in the head, and then I stuffed all the bloody clothes in there from when I killed that one guy.
I believe it's pretty safe to say the killer used this suitcase in some manner. Such as to move something, perhaps?
But are you just talking about the cloth, then?
That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. Use the suitcase to transfer is... well, probably his body.
Take that!
Something that would fit inside a suitcase that's also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? Uh-oh. Stinky! Isn't that what I literally said when we walked in here and looked at them? I was like, oh, you could carry a dead body in there.
But.
In light of this, I'd say you should put your titties away and we should move someplace else. Which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location.
So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase here and just left it?
Exactly. What is it?
Nothing. Just that, I swear I put it over there. I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something.
I'm guessing this is Tanira.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yeah.
I just wanted to give you a bit more time. But I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he's allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat.
I understand his sentiments. However, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed the time to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course.
If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate to your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can. Mr. Edgeworth? Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch everything together and maybe fool around a little bit.
Found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge. And I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Mio reminded me about Miss Taniro, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. Which also frees up the other guy to be the killer as well. Oh my god. No! No, 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 no! Not him! Anybody but him! Roxors! I know that once we have landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. Thanks to Miss Tanira and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tanira in private. So I'm left wondering what was she up to? Why'd she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue in my investigation. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. Well, I think we know who this is. Francesca, I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I'm needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Francesca von Karma, the daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Yeah, I don't know how you avoided being an accomplice. I don't know how you avoided jail being an accomplice to murder either. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Well, how many years in prison would you get for being an accomplice to murder? Because he didn't actually kill the guy, and I don't think he did anything that crazy. Like, he just helped drive the body, right? If I'm remembering correct. Would that be like 2-3 years? Maybe longer? Because it has been like 3 or 4 years since that case, canonically. So, could he be out of prison by this time? It would be a bit of a relief if you are.
Don't try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest.
What?
It's quite frustrating, actually. I'd hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue.
5 years. So 5 years on good behavior, maybe could get down to 4, 3. Though him behaving good?
I'd hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day. When a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal. Have you no shame?
Wait, it's all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim.
Misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death.
Francesca, do you honestly believe that I killed a man?
I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I've investigated for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then.
That's as it should be.
I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you, of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of the creed alone is all I strive for.
Well, I have my own creed I must fulfill. So, why don't we solve this together?
I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town.
Trust me, I had no intention to.
Detective Gumshoe!
Oh. Our boy, he's back. Yes, sure.
Too slow.
Oh my god, we get to see her whip in real time. Oh my god, those legs. They go on for miles. Yow!
Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand?
But Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him?
A simple yes or no, detective.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Oh, I missed this. You just leave it to me.
Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, she did her little bow. Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, Detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me and I'll get you through this. No, seriously, lean on me, Mr. Edgeworth. It's fine. Want to cry into my jacket? That's all good, too. Trust me, this jacket's seen its fair share of tears. Should have seen my jacket when Mr. Wright lost that case. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Francesca is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well, in that case, I have a few questions for you. Hold on. Let me talk to this fucking guy. Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man from somewhere before. I Soviet Russia will fly suspicious in June. Founded I feel a wave of creative powers coming on. It's a thousand rules. For my next lead move, it's going to be the Steel Samurai, one of Nero Tokyo, versus the World Samurai Champion River. It's going to be rock swords, so many buck swords. So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. Ugh. Ugh. This child seems to be happily enjoying the sight of the many planes.
Wow, I'd love to take a run down that runway.
Yeah, the youth of today. So much potential, yet so misguided. If only we set them up in factories, right, Detective? This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair. I did it. I made it the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. Must be pretty scared. He's repeating the same thing over and over to himself. Lunchland. Hey, Lunchland reference. Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own brand shops. What should I go with?
I recommend our airport special. World Flags lunchboxes are only available for a limited time.
Wait, Lunchland. Wasn't that in the special case, which was on the DS? Isn't this a Game Boy Advance game? Wait, no. Is Investigation the DS game? Wait, that would make much more sense if it was a DS game. I don't know why I thought it was Game Boy Advance. Maybe it's because of the pixel art that I saw. Oh yeah, it was DS. It was also on Android? Okay. It's a bit weird. So this must have been after the DS port of Phoenix Wright, so they could, you know, reference this.
We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags.
I wonder if they're aiming to take Lunchland to the international market. So, how's the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office, and we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like one Francesca. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was a little too quick, sir. How so? I rushed on over as soon as I got word from the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already about barking orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been some type of murder or something. And had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. I think she was coming to see us. I think she missed us. She did show up rather quickly out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some sort of backstory to all this. Miss Von Karma just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details? It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part of what stopped her from talking to you, Detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved with this case afresh. Oh, wait, that's it. I didn't get to present him with anything. Oh my. So this is our captain, huh? He does look a little suspicious. So, you must be the captain. Why, yes I am, and who might you be? I am the prodigy prosecutor, Francesca Von Karma, and I have a few questions for you.
Don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman.
Oh, they are a thing.
I'll never forgive you if you do.
What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. That was a one-off joke. They are fucking? Well, I guess that explains why she's wearing nothing underneath her one gown. I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure, you don't want to ask the captain a couple of questions, sure? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he knew anything. Anyway, I like to leave that type of witness to Francesca and her whip. Ah! Oh, sorry. The captain screamed. I had to scream too. Wait for me! Now see here! Not again! Oh my god. Whew. Sorry, I'm a bit on edge. Sorry, I know your name's Edgeworth. I'm sorry.
How long do you intend to hold me? It's impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you!
Mr. LeBlanc?
Oh, it's you! Tell this man to stop stopping me from going! Time is money! I don't even have 1 second of wasteful time to spend!
Did you finish taking your statement yet? Yep, all done, sure. Why are you counting?
I do not concern.
Oh. You're wasting his seconds.
I do not concern if you're not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay.
What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc's an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small.
From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of art.
Folk costumes. Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat kind of looks like the piece of cloth. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I was just thinking that. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me?
Oh, it's a Virginian cloth.
As I suspected. Your hat's made from the same material, I suppose?
Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous, orders come from overseas for more.
You know, you guys called the fucking suitcase ugly and disgusting. But you call that beautiful? You call that a beautiful pattern? Am I crazy here? That's just as ugly. Wait, this is the cargo you were talking about earlier.
No, my cargo is, this time is much, many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved?
You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal.
Oh, the stubbornness of you police, it's no good! It's no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room, too.
That attendant, I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenero. What do you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc?
She was taken into the attendant's room for an interview. And then they still have not yet come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I bet they're fooling around in there, touching each other and kissing each other. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. I win! I win the interview race!
Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room? Before I do, you still have yet to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was calling for an attendant until his body was found. The only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth.
unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect.
The likeliest suspect, Francesca?
Do you have a problem with that?
No, but it's not like you to use vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute.
I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend?
Whoever made this game has a problem with the tips of tits. I mean, it's more accurate. Bobulas usually do have a more, angular look. Does she look younger than in the trilogy? Well, there is more details on the work. But she's definitely older. Well, actually, it's been a couple months, but I guess... Wait, how are you still 19? She was 19 in the second game. She should be 20. Or 21. How are you still 19? She's avoiding the time-space continuum. This is unforgivable. She was 18 in the second game? Oh, was she? Never mind. Never mind. Right. Okay, fine. Fine. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast. I'm older than Francesca, currently. Though I know this is like... Actually, what year is this, technically? This would be like... What was the first game? 2016? Canonically? 2016, 2017? So if it's been 3 years, then... Oh no! Edgeworth, look out for COVID! Looks like me and Laser both have a chance with Francesca. Come on. Alright, well, this is obviously false.
Hold it!
So tell me, Francesca, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene? I know that all I need to know in order to arrest you. She's not real? Yeah, well, fucking obviously. I don't think anybody could become a prosecutor at 13. And nothing more. Are you saying there's more that I need to know? Yeah, why'd you whip me, sir? Sorry, Scruffy, my hand must have slipped. I fear that Francesca doesn't have all the facts of the case yet. Do I present one of these?
Objection!
Okay, wait, hold on. The save and load system's way longer than it was in the trilogy. Like, it's not that much longer, but it was pretty freaking instant in the trilogy.
Objection!
It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not in this lounge at all.
Objection!
Oh, it's been a while since we've heard that. Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me? All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose the suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. should know better than that. One comma is perfect in every way. Ah, except your loose pussy. But did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there's proof of that. Was the proof that the suitcase was moved around? The suitcase itself, right? Because it had no stopping bars. Can I do that? Can I say that? Am I gonna get punished?
Take that!
All it takes is one look at this and you'll have your answer. Indeed, I have my answer for now. That you're an ignorant whippersnapper. You're just an unforgiving whipsnapper. Proof that the suitcase was moved around. The footprints? I guess? Would it be the footprints? Oh, moved around afterwards. Oh, yeah. That's right. I didn't think of it like that. You spilled grape juice in front of the elevator? Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Oh, there is wheel marks! I didn't even see that!
Take that!
The mark here, wouldn't you say it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels? I suppose. Further, there's also grape juice residual on the wheels of the suitcase. That means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. It would have been nice to know that information, that there was juice on the fucking suitcase. Could have noticed that earlier, Edgeworth, to give us a little, you know, head start. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. Then you waited for the victim at the lounge where you beat him to death. Then while you were in the elevator, you, with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from that suitcase. There's no way out. You hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in your logic in one fell swoop. Sure thing. Bam, bam, bam.
Objection!
Right away. The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic. Essentially tools that those who would stand in the courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Captain Hugo piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important. And it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. Then what about the blood on the bank? How do you make that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did three things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the piggy bank up off the floor, took it to fabricate a murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage in my pocket, to be more precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackby Hicks. You there! Yes, ma'am.
Other than this piggy bank, was there anything else resembling a murder weapon found?
Well, we didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken by the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood.
I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end.
But it's possible they're just hidden somewhere, sir.
The criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place. I'd think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth.
Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or is still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
Well, there is one more possibility.
And that would be...
That the piggy bank is, in fact, the real weapon.
But didn't we just...
Let me finish! The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence. By opening the lock on the display case door, and it was at that time that the glass pane on the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you?
You know what's interesting? She hasn't called anyone a foolishly foolish fool yet. Maybe that's because Phoenix Wright isn't here.
Let's see. So that means that the killer had the key to the display case?
Francesca, the person you're talking about.
Not so fast. I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it's a sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak with her.
Yes.
Very well, permission granted. But only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other?
I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish.
Mr. Nero's in the flight attendant's room. Let's move.
Do I have two people following me now? Aww. Alright, let's go in.
Oh, Mr. Nero.
Professional style. Button up. Oh, guess who doesn't button up? Guess who doesn't button up and has her titties out all the time?
So you're the one that poked it around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming of you. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Mr. Nero? Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too?
Can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did?
All right.
Well, there's some of the art. There's a suitcase. Keep our cabin clean. Well, whoever's bed this is not clean. Pretty easy to tell who sleeps in which bunk just by looking. I'm almost certain that the well-kept one on top belongs to Miss Tenero. Yeah, this bottom one's a giant mess. Reminds me of my house. Or my apartment. Okay, my closet. Listen, I bunk with a family, okay? It's fine.
You sloven, squalid scoundrel of a man. You dared to scrutinize a woman's bed and invade her privacy?
Ouch!
There are some things in life best kept to yourself, Detective.
I wonder if they have the Thinker in that fabulous box.
Oh, and then the time on the Thinker's the key to the case again. There's sure to be a clue of some sort in this trash can. Detective Gumshoe, if you please.
Yes, sure. You just leave the rummaging to me.
Scruffy, how dare you go through another woman's trash without her permission? Have you no sense of honor?
Sorry, I'm just doing what Mr. Edgeworth told me to do!
Forgive me, Detective.
This door leads to the cargo hold, but I can't let you through without Miss Von Karma's express permission. It's not a bad way to handle the situation if it was any old case, but this isn't. So between you and Miss Von Karma, who's better at their job? Well, there's no comparison to be made, Detective. None. It's me, obviously. What exactly is this panel for?
That's the emergency control panel for the elevator. We used it to stop the elevator on the first floor to keep the doors open.
Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? And why is my phone going off the hook? No, it's just YouTube. I wish YouTube wouldn't buzz me like that. Like, I like getting the notifications, but whenever I get a notif like that, I'm like, oh, did I get a message? Nope. Some yuts. Some klutz streaming.
I didn't think I would be able to get his permission.
Yeah, that's my phone notification. It's a Mario World sound effect. I think it's the Chargin' Chuck's whistle. What do you mean?
Captain, he only has ears for Cammy.
I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken by Miss Mew.
Yes, and on top of that, I mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends.
In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges.
Really? You're able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness.
Mr. Nero, is it? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. I'm surprised Francesca didn't have any sort of, like, objection to that. Felt like she was still trying to get us behind bars. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please, answer honestly.
Yes, I was.
Why were you there?
Well,
In a sudden hesitation, Francesca seems to have struck a nerve.
All I did was go check up on the shop like I always do.
You're saying it was for work, then?
Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any other reason to go there.
Your visit to the shop. You paid a visit to this room, correct?
Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell.
Mr. Nero claims to have no other reason, no reason other than duty to go to the shop. Is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. If you could please take a look at this for me, Mr. Nero.
That suitcase.
Yes, about this suitcase. You're the one who designed it, correct? I think I figured something else about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it?
There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there?
Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase and the STTs that I know you got in 1986? Yes, I know about those.
Well, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional, I'm not supposed to care. But I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see that it was the last one there.
The last one there? So the suitcase was brought with them? So you're saying, Mr. Nero, that the suitcase in question was the last one?
Yeah, they're so popular, they're practically flying off the shelves.
It's not exactly the impression I got.
The one in the shop is most definitely the last one.
Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase.
Really? Then I guess we sold out of all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one.
No, I didn't say anything about buying it.
Then say you'll buy it.
I'm sorry, but I can't.
But why? I think it'd go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you.
Really? A brightly colored, disgusting piece of trash like this with my beautiful red suit, my elegant cloth. You really think it goes with me, my beautiful, luxurious, dark grey fox hair? You must be mistaken.
I guarantee it's personally a service professional.
Well, that's... how should I put this? It's hideous.
What?
Here, I was a bit too direct. Moving on. My issue with the suitcases isn't the design. It's the number of them remaining.
Remaining?
There were 2 suitcases in the flight shop when I investigated it.
2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only 1.
Looks like her story has generated quite the contradiction.
When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only 1 suitcase left.
Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Miss Tenero, what is one of the suitcases doing here?
That's where the murder weapon is.
I thought you said there was only 1 left.
But that one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now.
She's used it for a long time. I think not. It's still got the receipt. I mean, the tag. Mr. Nero, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me.
Excuse me?
I don't believe for even 1 second that you used this for a very long time. Also, $1,200 for a fucking suitcase? Holy shit! And an ugly one?
Take that!
Isn't a suitcase only like $100? $1,200? Are you crazy? Maybe $200 at the most for a good one. Actually, that's just a guess, but it can't be more than that, right? Tell me, Mr. Nero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? What's the meaning of this? Why would you lie about a suitcase?
That's in the murder weapon and all the bloody clothes
Despite having faith in her design sense, that sales number made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Mr. Nero, I think I understand. I know what you're trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in the in-flight shop. She's trying to make it look like they're selling out fast. Seeing as how the price tag's still on the suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. The person who bought this suitcase was... herself?
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Mr. Nero? I hate to say this, but the suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Most expensive ones are $500. Isn't that right? Then the reason you went to the shop and came back here was...
I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I'd finally accomplish something.
But the suitcases didn't sell.
It's because of the design, isn't it? It's all because, as you put it, it's hideous.
Can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either. Yeah, you'd want to sell it like at the airports, not in the plane.
They weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there day in, day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked.
Every single flight you worked? Isn't this a full-time job?
So that's 5,000...
No, that would be 6,000 even, wouldn't it? For 1,200 times 5? 6,000 every week, god damn. You buy one every single time you work a flight? I see, so in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Hey! Maybe she is the one who killed him. She needed that money to pay for all these suitcases she's buying. Ugh. I had to take off my jumper. It's so warm now.
Damn, spring. Bring back the cold.
Actually, I'm wearing my KK Slider shirt. I lost it until now. It's a bit tight. Mostly because, you know, not in the best shape.
Yes, and here's my receipt for that purchase.
See the photo of him at the museum? Whoopsies. He's got his little phone, his tie, big funny art piece. This music's really nice. He looks so dead inside. There's not really anything too interesting other than him having that little phone of his. Also, isn't it weird to keep your phone on a lanyard? Isn't that strange? Even if it were a flip phone. His thing's a suitcase? What? What are you talking about?
Now his outsides match his inside. Hee hee.
What are you saying, Laser? The button made it look weird. This receipt is clearly time-stamped at 5:40 a.m.
The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight.
Mr. Nero, where are these other suitcases?
They should all be down in cargo hold.
And the suitcase the killer used could very well have been from the cargo hold.
Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think that the killer used one of my suitcases to...
Yes, I do. The killer used one of your suitcases, your beloved suitcases, to move the victim's body.
Ah, how could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished them to be.
Mr. Nero, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator?
The only way is through that door there.
What about the security?
That door had no special lock installed because... just to enter this room, you need a special keycard that only crew members have access to.
Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room. That's okay, Big Boss. Don't worry about it. We'll always figure it out eventually. Like, I won't be stuck forever in a thing. And if we really get that hung up on something, and just for the life of us we can't figure it out, we always have Google. Eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects.
I can't believe it.
Yes, Francesca?
Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace of uncommon name.
What do you mean by that?
The suitcase came from the cargo hold. That fact alone tells the whole story.
Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used that keycard.
Miles Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rolled the elevator from the cargo hold, correct?
Yes, that's the only realistic possibility.
Other attendant, Miss Meal. I asked her earlier, and she had this to say.
Francesca got information from Miss Meal.
In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different keycard is required.
A different one?
Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhonda De Niro. Only you. Ah!
What? Is this true, Miss De Niro?
Yeah, I keep that key card in my locker at all times.
Which happens to be open.
Could you please show us that card now? Yes, hold on. Ah, I don't believe it!
What's wrong?
The key card, it's gone!
Yep, another case of stolen card. 2 cases in a row where a key's been stolen. Just because this one's in card form doesn't mean nothing. Still a key.
Ha ha ha. Very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you were just trying to hide it from us. You really thought this through. Wait, it's not like that! Well, you can tell us what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Edgeworth.
Cold. Wait! Don't do it! Oh, it's too late. They're gone. Sorry, I was thinking of something else.
What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face.
Francesca, I know that you're a lead investigator on this case. However...
Hold it! Don't even think about wasting any more time. You know the rules as well as I do. You know the rules, and so do I. Da-da-da, any other guy. I forget the rest of the lyrics. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if it isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Mr. Edgeworth?
I intend to do likewise. I wasn't really done in that room, though. Oof, I'm really hungry. I basically just had a bowl of snacks before streaming. I thought that would tide me over. I didn't really want to make any actual food. Good breakfast, I know. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? I'm okay. Just hanging out here. Finally managed to catch myself. Seems to be a couple more flights of stairs. Whew. Well, better call the ambulance. It's so big! So stairs! Gumshoe, there was only one set of stairs. What did you fall down? Yeah, I was just making noises. I just wanted attention, to be honest. This plane's a very special model. Has both a super large cargo hold and an ultra luxurious first class seating.
So this is the real scene of the murder?
There's certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir. Highly flammable material, open suitcase, bed sheets, a missing suitcase. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth. It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair. Must be all the leftover ones who they couldn't sell. Company's planning to dispose of them after this flight is over. Oh, which is why they thought they could use them as something to hide evidence, because they were disposing of it. This paint job's really cool, don't you think? It practically screams Yahtzee. See? Gumshoe's on the table. Yeah, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it'll bring you much happiness. You think so? Maybe I will. Well, let's see here. $1,200? I think I'll pass. That's like 3 paychecks. Over the span of a year. Nero wonders why they don't sell. You'd need 2 jobs just to buy one. Although, it definitely looks like one is missing. What's this brittle substance I'm stepping on? Ah, glass fragments. Well, well, well. We finally got the broken glasses. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was Mr. Edgeworth, kiss me. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. What? What? Wait, go back to what you were saying before? I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of the glass's lens. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. Hey, I'm watching that suitcase, pal. It's what the victim checked in, sir. So this belonged to the Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we take a closer look. Nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. Wait, a file. And there's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. Looks like a profile on Von Karma. Why would Mr. Hicks have a file on her? Can I look at it? No. You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And then you immediately began to direct the investigation. Seems to me that you're already here at this airport for something else besides this murder.
Yes, I was.
Why would you be able to look at it? That's too logical. No, you've got to talk to Francesca about it and shove it in her face. And then comb through her cryptic response to get your logical conclusion, of course. Only a foolish fool would look at a foolish, foolhardy, foolishly errand that's foolishly put in front of you. Such as a foolish file on a foolishly fool. I've been following a very large involved government-level international crime. But it's too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Interpol's involved? It's a top-secret investigation, so I can't really tell you anything more than I already have. Okay. Is there not more I can show you? I would really like to show you the thing I have for you, but... Okay. All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says... flammable, and this one says pharmaceuticals. Do you think the pharmaceuticals are flammable, Mr. Edgeworth? This one says for exorcism use only. So what kind of operation is this airline running? Oh, I just love pushing elevator buttons and crosswalk signals buttons. Here, you should give it a try, sir. Go on, push it. Elevator's currently stopped on the first floor, Detective. It can't move. Oh yeah, I guess nothing would happen if you pushed it now. Well, nothing would happen normally anyway without the special keycard. The door to the attendant's room and the elevator's control panels. require a keycard, which makes it impossible for a passenger to come down here. Have you noticed anything strange happening around here? No, sir. Haven't noticed a thing. Not sure that he meant to sound so oblivious. Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. Sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sure. And the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. I want to hear about Gumshoe's fucking moving days. A2. Yeah. We already noticed that. I guess. Maybe we can put together that he's from Interpol. Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Francesca? Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sure. Francesca said that she'd come to this airport as a part of an Interpol investigation. Maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and she followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was in actuality Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Francesca has some explaining to do. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense! What are you talking about? Well, we found a profile detailing information about you and the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks. Isn't that correct? I should have known you'd figure it out, Miles. But it looks like they got to him first. So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent, then? Yes. Agent Hicks was on a trail of a very large international smuggling ring. Smuggling what? Smuggling kisses across the borders to all the fathers in the world. Interesting. He went undercover to investigate this crime. And it was I who put him on this case. We were supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing about the luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. No, I mean, what? Gumshoe, he was investigating a crime ring, smuggling things in cargo. Dang! Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason. Of that, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francesca, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? No. Unfortunately, I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see, but this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and his broken glass are a testament to that. And then the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases and they entered the elevator. But while they were riding it up, the plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks' body blew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. His head's already bloodied, so he did die from that. Which explains why there was money scattered all around the elevator floor. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What? Really sure? I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero. If it was a crew member, any of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is the keycard that allows the elevator to come here. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you? I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that. Yeah. It could easily be stolen. No, Meal doesn't have the clearance. It's only Rhoda. That's the information she divulged to Francesca. She could be lying, but most likely she stole it. Because who cares if you want the clearance if you want to kill somebody? Alright, let's see here. Why would such important things like a keycard be entrusted to only one person? According to Cammy Meal, Rhoda Tenero is in charge of the most important stuff. And what exactly is Miss Meal in charge of? Checking it up with that foolish captain, apparently. She was being so foolishly foolish that I didn't want to ask her what her duties were. Finally, the foolish comes out. Ugh. I understand how you feel, but whipping me just now was not called for. In the end, only one could have let Agent Hicks into the hold, where was Rhoda Tenero. But she would have been buying the suitcase at the time.
Objection!
I guess not. I mean, that does leave roughly 35 minutes, right? So yeah, she could easily do that. I have any proof that it's not true? Order 5 to transfer cargo and refuel. But it can't have happened then because he was in his seat at 5 a.m. And it was 35 minutes from when she bought the suitcase. Just as Miss Tenero said, the timestamp she bought the suitcase at 5:40 p.m. a.m. Fuck! She bought the entire thing. D39001. Alright, I should just press.
Hold it!
That might be true, but then it could be anyone, including Miss Meal or even the captain. Don't be a fool. A plane without a pilot in the cockpit is like a horse without a rider, crop in hand, much like Scruffy over there. Yow! Disagree with her on that. Detective Gumshoe does always need a guiding hand. Very well then, about that other flight attendant, Miss Meal. I thought you might ask about her.
Hold it!
But it's highly likely that the keycard was stolen from Miss Tenero.
Objection!
It's highly likely?
Is that possibility the best you can come up with? You call yourself a disciple of my father.
Yes, well, I don't have any evidence.
Be quiet. You're a disgrace. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda Tenero, you know. It's not just the keycard that gives her away.
You're talking about the murder weapon, the Captain Ugo piggy bank?
Yes, she also is the only person with a key to open the display case.
Well, the case was broken from the inside. They just present this.
Objection!
No. Dang it! I guess I'll press it. I'll just take the hit. Oh, I made this point, right? This conflicts with something, right, sir?
I have no idea what you're talking about, do you?
Detective Gumshoe, don't speak up when you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we're just trying to follow your lead, sir.
That you would allow such a subordinate to take over, you're a disgrace.
I guess that wasn't it.
Hold it!
Fake. Stop right there, Mars Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is a red herring. If you must keep insisting that it's a fake, then what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? Speechless, I see. That's not a surprise.
But it was taken after the turbulence. So that was up in the shop. So if he died down here, then what are you even trying to... What? That goes against our previous theory. That you were involved with.
Thrall, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold and come up empty-handed.
Must be a way.
Must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon.
The authenticity of the weapon. Well, the body, right? Surely there would be, like, a dent noticeable.
Francesca, I think you were too quickly to jump to your conclusions. Was I?
Yes, we don't even have the autopsy results yet. How can I not say that you made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see if the wound on Mr. Agent Hicks' head is consistent with the murder weapon?
Scruffy!
Yes, sir?
Contact the medical examiner's office at once!
Got her.
I wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks' autopsy.
Yes, sir! We've got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Thanks, Windows Virus Protection.
What is it, Detective?
They're still doing the autopsy, but they said that they already know one thing for sure.
Report, now!
Doc said it's one giant bruise from a beating, from his shoulder down to his mid-back.
From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back, he was beaten over such a wide area?
Well, I'd say maybe it's a sign the killer had a grudge against... a grudge? Sorry, a grudge against Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. Yeah, so shouldn't the piggy bank be a little more damaged if he went all out?
Scruffy, what is had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean?
Well, that's,
Was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, Detective?
Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sure.
You're completely useless!
It still gets me a little hurt. Fuck.
So I told you already, you can't go down there!
No, you remove yourself from my way!
What's all the racket?
My luggage, my cargo, they're mine, and I demand you return them to me! still investigating the cargo hold. Please, understand, and have a little patience. I suppose there's no choice. I think he gave... Hey, what are you... You left me no choice but to use strong force! You know, attacking a police officer is also a crime. You won't get past me. This is... Wait, that's it. That's how this whole thing came about. It's the matter of the key to the display case that held the murderous bank. After all, you know, we've searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. One giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Edgeworth is having a brain moment! Smuggling. Weapon could not be found. No. Is there one way to prove this is not the murder weapon? Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there's extensive bruising all over this wide area. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. A very large weapon was used. I mean, it's quite obviously, you know, it's obviously LeBlanc, right? Wait, really? So I guess it's... That is weird. If it's so big, I think it would stick out. But so far, we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we all overlooked from the very beginning. Because normally, it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. It's the giant jar. It's the giant fucking jar. It's the giant jar. It's the weird giant jar that he put a seatbelt on. What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Francesca. What do you want? I found it, Francesca. I found the real murder weapon. You did? He really jumped! I didn't realize it until now, but... the answer's right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check up on him, sirs. There's that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. It's coming from a prosecutor with a habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Anyway, if you're really a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence. You two aren't listening to me at all, are you? Gumshoe's the murder weapon. It's his own missing cell phone. Actually, wait, could he have used the suitcase? Maybe? Maybe he used the suitcase to kill him. Could be. I'll try it. This is the real murder weapon.
Take that!
The real murder weapon is this suitcase. When you say it with such confidence, I suppose you must have some evidence? Of course. Agent Hicks was placed into the suitcase alive. And it was what... wonder if you would die if I whipped you from the head to toe right now. Oh, there was actually unique dialogue for picking the wrong thing there. That's cool. Wide bruise running from the victim's shoulder down to his mid-back. Maybe I should be focusing on what caused such a large bruise on in one strike. I don't think we can show evidence of that, can we? That? The fucking big idol in the back of this photo, maybe? I don't know how it would be that, but maybe. I don't have any evidence to show you. Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from a foolishly foolish fool meant to me. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show? Perhaps I should have phrased it as that which caused Agent Hicks' death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I figured out what the real cause of death is. Oh yeah, it could be free fall. I mean, he just fell, so... The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground. He fell to his death? Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. The only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death. But the murder happened inside this plane. I know. You mean that there's some place in the plane from which he fell from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us this entire time. You can't mean... Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs in this very cargo hold. What? Then... We're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs. Hey, you! Tell me you're dead, pal! Quiet. Why are you screaming? He's alive! And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hicks fell over the railing to his death. That man is living proof of that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances. The current circumstances? What's that supposed to mean? Suppose that large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? He would have been a Virginian pancake for sure. Suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing. But the reality of the cargo box is there. There's no point in... Maybe there now. But there's no proof it was always there. Just as if there was a window of time when the giant box was not there. But there was. Well, I already know where we're going with this. He's going to talk about the transfer, right? 4 to 5 a.m. But he was seen in his chair at 5 a.m. Right as they were about to take off again. What?
Take that!
You refueled in the Republic of Zengfar? Yes. This flight had a short layover in Zengfar in order to refuel. That wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at the time? Sorry. To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Yeah, it's labeled Zengfar Express. Correct, meaning it was loaded onto the plane at Zengfar. Now what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time? It would mean that the box was not there in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zengfar leg of the flight. Making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. Ah, but your theory is still so very far-fetched. Allow me a chance to prove how likely my scenario is. Alright. Let's check it out. This is a rather large piece of cargo. There's a tag on it. Let's see. The Aleph Red statue? Well, never heard of it. Alright, but all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. And let's get investigating, sir.
Look here! Do not go about touching my possessions without my permission!
Here, don't rush up on me like that, pal. So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I need some water. Should see what else I can find out from him. Okay, then let's do that. Take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc?
Of course it's mine! I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe! This Aleph Red statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much, much more.
Mr. LeBlanc's reasoning for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. 10 million cents. I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, Detective. John, how'd you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better and seeing right through me every year. 50,000 buckaroos? I go with each revolution of the planet around the sun. I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is that in euros or dollars? Does it really make a difference for our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there's a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer.
It's a very valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching! Why do you show me something of no value? Show me the bread first, and maybe we will talk.
But I did just show you your cargo, so... I mean... Okay, is there anything else to catch him on?
I can say you have the guts to show me a piece of art at this time, but from a single glance I can already tell it's mostly worthless.
This is much more value than any piece of non-art, I assure you.
You look like you have something to say. Perhaps you are thinking like casting pearls before swine?
You actually hit the nail on the head for once. Okay. Maybe I'll ask him about the layover then? Wait, I can't. My layover receipt's gone. Oh, it's turned into this, but he didn't react to it. So I get nothing out of him. He's giving me nothing? Cool. Let me check out this many pieces of... Yep. I'd buy one if it was cheaper, sure. Do you think they'd sell it to me at a discount? Oh, well, why don't they sell them in the airport and have a bargain basement sale. Buy one, get one free. If you win the raffle, you get one more for free. How about those ideas, sir? Predicted that everyone would lose. May I have a word with you, Francesca? I don't think you have the time for idle chatter. You still need to prove to me that your hypothetical situation is in fact reality. If you spot anything off, you come tell me right away, okay, pal? Roger, sir. Run into any trouble, just leave it up to me, okay? Yes, sir. Watch out, Detective Gumshoe. Ow! Scruffy, I think your ego is in need of some deflating. I was following in your footsteps, and I wanted to try patronizing my subordinates. Cool and unforgiving to the detective, even in front of his own subordinate. So Mr. Hicks was actually an Interpol agent. That's so cool! I can't believe it was from Interpol! The adventure, the glamour! Oh, the miraculous big escape, the babes! Think of the babes, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not into babes, really. Except in this case, there was no big escape. Hey, no miracle. Smuggling art? Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring. It's possible the fake statue was brought on board in Zingvar. I think I need to question him a bit further. Yeah, that's all I had to do. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc. I wonder if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is fake? I suspect that your statue might be a target of an international smuggling ring. Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. I have a certification of my cargo right here. You mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zing LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. I can't read this. What does it say? 'Tis as plain as day the cargo was put onto the plane in Europe. There you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in this certificate. No, that's... Which means there was never a window of time in which the statue was not sitting here. I respectfully disagree. We can't discount that theory until I see the statue for myself. Then you can have your wish, and look at it yourself, and see that I'm right. Guess I know I've seen this somewhere before. It was the statue! Oh yeah, it is a fake. The real one's got red eyes. This is a lift red? Funny how there's no red on it. Gives up such a feeling of art, I can practically smell it. This high statue has a high amount of historic value. It was unveiled at a museum in Europe. I brought it to this country to exhibit it. Closer look is warranted? I don't think so. I think we got it pretty clear. This thing's got yellow eyes, and this thing's got red. Statue's eyes look like they're made of a jewel-like stone. Those dreams sure are pretty. Look at that fiery orange color, sure. But are they orange? They're especially not fiery. According to Mr. LeBlanc, this whole thing is worth a pretty penny. Oh, I just got a really great idea. I can probably find some rocks down by the river, and I can polish them up to look like real jewels. I think I'll try it out and give one to Maggie as a present next time. I wonder if he's serious. I wonder if I should try to stop him if he is. We only really need the eyes, right? This is the infamous Elif Red statue. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something? Something very wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. Boop. Boop. Eureka! The eyes! They're red! These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? I mean, I wouldn't say so, but that's how the detective put it, so... Yeah, pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. Well, the right one looks more orange at this angle, but the left one still looks yellow. I don't think you know what I'm talking about. No, yeah, I do. But it's the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. And the memories. I remember standing out in that field, spinning my arms out until I felt ill. And then throwing up all over myself. Actually, my vomit kind of looked like that color, too. I don't care about the sunsets. Focus, detective. What are the colors of the eyes in this photo? Huh? Sure, they're red. As I thought, this statue's a fake. Mr. LeBlanc. What do you want? Do you not know that I'm a busy man? I allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The Elif Red. I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not? It's the biggest trophy I have on this European trip. Do you know why I possess this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. Better grab a chair, sure. This one's gonna be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but... What is that sympathy for? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. That large fellow there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I'm talking about the two in front of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in the photo. Why the sudden yelling? Now that... Whoa! It is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe. How do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake. Fake! I believe that further examination will be required. Now that we've confirmed that this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in Zhangfa. I will present to you the evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. A proof. It's on top of that. There's clearly a contradiction here. I don't know. What are you going on about? Just a simple case of a cargo cover getting stuck under another piece of cargo. Ah, okay, yeah, I was right. Oh, that's not possible. But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Zhangfa, there's no way that any part of it should wind up underneath anything from Europe. Which means that the fake statue was smuggled on board in Zhangfa. But then what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There's only one reason why, to secure proof of smuggling activity on board this flight. So you say, but I don't believe he had anything to do. He had to do that mid-flight. We could have just as easily inspected all of the cargo after the plane landed. That may be true. However, you have it backwards, Francesca. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. It would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge. Which means there's someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates. Oh boy. Investigation complete. Hell yeah, brother. I guess the victim knew the real version of this was gonna get nabbed, huh? Yes. While this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had secured that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. Photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zengfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. The statue was not in the cargo hold during the trip to Europe to Zengfa leg of the trip. There would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death. Officer! Move the statue immediately! I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. You watched a VOD where I mispronounced gigantic? And you want an apology? If I mispronounced gigantic, it was probably on purpose. Did I say something like gigantic? Did I go gigantic? Or something like that? It's probably a gag. It's probably a goof. So no, I will not give an apology. Miss Von Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. Go on. Said it so normally, though. Well, I couldn't think of a reason why I would say it wrong. I know gigantic. 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 I mean, yeah, I think it was probably just a goof. After moving the Illithrid statue out of the way, we tested the area underneath with luminol, and there was a reaction. That's also true. It is me. I see. There was a reaction to the luminol, an indication that there was blood on that spot. Yeah, can we stop looking at it now, Sheriff? I'm bored. It seemed that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose it would appear that way. The culprit cleaned the blood up well. How do you think the killer did that? Ah, with the Borginian cloth!
Take that!
Well, the killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. I did say redial as redial, that's true, that's true. It's because I thought redial would be like hyphenated or something. Why would it be put together? English is stupid. But gigantic is way easier to figure out than fucking redial. I've never owned a phone with a redial function, I'll have you know. I was born in the years of the touchscreen. I know not of this redial. Yeah, it was probably a joke. I know how to say gigantic. I've known for ages. I can't remember a time I didn't know gigantic.
I was probably goofing. Straight goofing.
Yeah, well, okay, smart guy. There's all the chances in the world I would have never heard that word, and I never did! Don't turn me into a goof! I'm already a clown! I see. They need to clean up all that blood before the plane landed at Zingfa. Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover. So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Zhangfa? Yeah, but look, Laser, you hyphenated it. It wasn't hyphenated in the game. It just said redial. Altogether one word. That's normal English language processing. If you put through an AI, it would have said redial. I'm not backing down from this one. Obviously, I know what redial means. But like, come on. It needed a fucking hyphen right there. Oh yeah, I did just. Yep, that was a classic Ace Attorney moment that I will never be able to escape from. Don't hyphenate stim pulls. I don't need a stim right now. I'm stim enough as it is. There's no other conceivable time frame for the murder events. If that's true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. Who said he was in his seat? Miss Meal. Recall Miss Meal's testimony about Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Zhangfa. I gotta work on pronunciations? How about you work on my fucking cock and balls?
I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know.
She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but... That totally contradicts the facts, sir. But why would she lie about something like that? I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Meal herself. Just, are you gonna be playing the Persona 3 DLC that comes out tomorrow? I don't know if you've gotten through the whole game yet, but we're gonna be streaming it. Man, I wanted to do 3 hours of Ace Attorney and 3 hours of Astrobot, but... Yeah, the DLC's coming out tomorrow, episode Igus. I guess you didn't know. Yeah. September 10th. You just started January, so you're getting close. Oh, yeah. Well, if you play all day today, then you should be ripe to hop right into the DLC. I only just bought the expansion pack, like, last week. Miss Meal. She's snoozing. Miss Meal!
My boobies are awake!
Do you recall what you said earlier? About when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Zhangfa? I did mess up? How are you so sure? I'm gonna just say gigantic from now on just to fuck with you guys now. You said that Mr. Hicks was sitting in his seat at that time. However, that's simply not possible, because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down in Zhangfa. Put this gigantic fist up your ass. Yeah, like it would fit. Miss Chamomile.
Maybe I see what I thought I did? Like, maybe I'm named after tea.
I was shocked when it happened and I never joke when I'm in shock. What are you talking about? Sure I do. Do you know who you're talking to, Laser? I'm the king of stupid jokes, okay? I am the lord of stupidity, okay? I wouldn't use that as a point against me, okay? That only enhances my argument. Why is everything so squeaky? I need some, like, WD-40 or something. That's what you use to get rid of squeaks, right? I don't know. I think it's just a name brand. Some type of spray to loosen up these gears. I do need a new mic, too. Stupidity, no joke. Well, that also adheres to me. I don't want to listen to myself, to be honest. One, I'm probably wrong and I did mess up, and two, I hate myself, so I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to do that. Thanks. No one could mistake something so large, Miss Meal.
But I make that kind of boo-boo all the time.
This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Alright, bye-bye, Just. I'm not apologizing! Not getting that out of me. Very well, Miss Meal, if you please, tell me about your alibi during the time span. From just before we were to land at 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. when the body was found.
Is Amy I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Meal's alibi.
Oh yeah. From 3 to 4 hours I'm in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. Oh yeah. From 5 to 6 hours in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self.
Okay. How's a man supposed to react to a testimony like that? Miss Meal, wake up!
Ah!
Trying to sleep again. Looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her. Three to 4, you're in the flight attendant's room. Well, this one I can grab you for. I wonder if you would be so kind as to take a look at this receipt, Miss Meal.
Huh? A receipt for what?
It's for the suitcase Miss Tenero bought. Now, if I may direct your attention to the timestamp. As you can see, it clearly says 5:40 a.m., Miss Tenero.
Yes? And why is the killer here? I thought you'd have her locked up by now.
I requested that she be present as a witness, so we may straighten out your complex lie. Now then, Miss Tenero, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you took a trip from first class down to the first floor in flight shop, correct?
Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase. After which I went straight to the attendant's room to drop it off.
And did you see Miss Meal there at the time?
No.
So, Miss Meal, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? Miss Meal! Oh, I get that her name's a pun on tea, but that's why she's so fucking sleepy, is because chamomile tea's like a soother, a relaxing tea. That's funny. Not really, but it's entertaining, at the least.
The bathroom?
I'll be the one to ask the questions here.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I really just missed it. Nature calls, you know?
You take me for a fool. It's a little too convenient to be true.
But it's the truth. Cross my heart.
I don't have enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage.
You don't believe me, do you? Please, won't you give me a chance and hear me out? Look, I know you're suspecting me because I'm one of the crew, but maybe you should also suspect Miss Rhoda, too. She's the one in charge of the elevator key card in the shop, you know? If you ask me, that makes her super suspicious.
Please leave Miss Tenero out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now.
I don't get it. Why are you covering for Miss Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you got your eye on Miss Rhoda. Well, check these babies out.
Of course I'm keeping an eye on her. I can't very well let her escape, can I?
Never mind. But you want to know something? Miss Rhoda actually kind of I have absolutely no interest in people who can't appreciate the sense of design.
So she did have a crush on Edgeworth. Until he made fun of her suitcase. Way to fumble the bag, Edgy. That's not the time for that sort of talk. Romance is to be kept outside the investigations.
Hold it!
She's already being detained for further questioning. Or have you already forgotten?
Yeah, I guess I just forgot. Amy, don't tell me you suspect me too. Sorry, can't help it. I mean, other than you, there's no one else who could have done it. Can't believe you would think that. I mean, me, a killer?
Miss Meal, what did you mean just now? No one else could have done it.
Hold it!
And what are you in charge of, Miss Meal?
I take care of the attendance room.
That doesn't count.
Oh, but I spend so much time in there, it might as well be my responsibility. Mr. Edgeworth, Cammy is very talented in languages, so she assists passengers who may not speak English. Especially those who speak Virginian. She's the only one in this flight who is fluent.
Ah, so you're the one who falsified the document, huh? Yeah, we thought so.
Oh, you mean that what I'm in charge of? Why didn't you say that in the first place?
What else could I have meant?
Yes, I'm really good at Virginian.
She's fluent in Borginian. Then I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Borginian?
Yeah, I take care of anything that has to do with Virginian.
Very interesting. Well.
Objection!
So you're the only one in this flight crew that speaks Borginian. Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess so. I studied abroad in Virginia for a while.
That's the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? Here we go, the music's kicking in! This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose. To lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue was loaded in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed the document in Borginian is you, Miss Meal. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Aleph Red could not have occurred. Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. She was faking to sleep. She's got bubbles.
I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. It's exactly as you say.
You're confessing to have participated in the smuggling.
No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document. But you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. There's no direct correlation after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper.
Really? All you did was sign it.
I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly. So, sorry about that.
Seems that she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight.
Suppose, and this is a supposition, even if I was involved in the smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that.
If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have a strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding the smuggling ring. And just when he was about to close in, he's killed by a member of that ring.
Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda's the smuggling ring member?
Still trying to throw her under the bus.
After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes.
So perhaps there's some type of element of setup at the play in this case.
What are you talking about?
Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you. I meant the killer. First it was myself, and now it's Mr. Nero who is under the microscope. Seems to me that our killer is going to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone they can.
You've got no proof that Rhoda's being set up or that she isn't.
Actually, I believe that she was indeed intended target from the very beginning. I believe that the plan was to push all of the blame of the crime to her. And this evidence will prove my suspicions. This proves that the killer was out to frame Mr. Nero from the very beginning. A piggy bank, probably, right? Oh no, the Go-You suitcase!
Take that!
The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they chose this suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through all the trouble to do so? No, the poor little guy! The only way all of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Mr. Nero for the murder. Mr. Nero buys a suitcase on every flight she works without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan. There wasn't enough time to put the body back in the suitcase. Ergo, they made do with whoever was at hand and adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree?
Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why would the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway?
That's because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. Who the murder victim was. The killer was at a loss of what to do with the Agent Hicks body. But as it just so happened, there were a bunch of empty suitcases nearby. Being a skinny man, the killer thought to put his body in the suitcase and hand it off.
You know, the whole plan was to frame someone was an elaborate coincidence?
No! He's an agent of Interpol, goddammit! It's not a coincidence. That's what I was insinuating. Oh. Thanks, Edgeworth. You always got my back, buddy. You've wrongly deduced my meaning, Miss Mio.
The one with the wrong deductions is you.
Think before you speak again. Patience, Francesca. I was about to reveal the truth. Special circumstances dictated the need for the killer to frame someone. I guess it's where it took place. Because you were kind of stuck on the plane. Special circumstances is simply that the murder took place on the plane, mid-flight. No matter which country, customs is quite strict in this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chances that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Mr. Nero or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal movements is not Mr. Nero or myself, but you, Miss Camomile. Only you and you alone could be the killer.
And? Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again.
Do you also believe Edgeworth when he says he has it solved compared to when Phoenix does? I definitely believe Edgeworth more so.
Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence.
I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. Isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that I still can't quite fit into the big picture.
Take that!
I don't have any actual evidence.
I thought not.
But that's because it went missing, and still is.
Missing? What do you mean by that?
In the complex puzzle that is this case, there's one piece I kept getting stuck on. And that's the victim's cell phone. Francesca, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks' cell phone. Or at least... Ah! We're actually gonna call it! That's what you said earlier, Laser! That's right. Agent Hicks' cell phone could not be found at the crime scene. The killer took the phone with them? Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find the phone, it would lead us to the killer.
Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well?
We won't know until we try a little experiment, will we? I don't know. I guess it never came up because they didn't really suspect it before. I mean, Francesca didn't even know about it. Francesca, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you?
Of course I do.
Agent Hicks' phone is ringing from somewhere. I hear it, Detective. Now, where's it coming from? Miss Beale, wake up!
Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I got sleepy all of a sudden because it sounds like a lullaby I used to love as a child.
Is it gonna get louder when I get close to it? Is it in the suitcase? Sounds like the phone's in the Oh, it's in the flight attendant's room. Oh, is it gonna be in her trash can? The ring is coming from somewhere in here, sir. No stone unturned, Detective. We must find it. Doesn't seem to be over here. Then let's look somewhere else, sir. You see it? Wait. Let me look. It's not there. Teniro has something sticking out of her locker. I didn't notice before. You really see it? It's like, where's fucking Waldo over here? Oops. I wonder who might be inside the suitcase. The ring is coming from in here, sure. So you can't have seen it. It's inside Teniro's locker. This gotta be the victim's cell phone. Just whose locker is this, sure? It's Miss Teniro's. What?
So, Mr. Edgeworth, how'd it go? Where'd you find the phone?
Found it in the flight attendant's room, in Miss Teniro's locker.
What?
Where's the Teniro?
I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. Miss Von Karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Teniro right away.
Wait, I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the keycard. When the killer went to steal the keycard, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Teniro's locker at the same time. This is related to the keycard, all right. In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. And that is one bird we cannot ignore. What should I do? Francesca's right. I can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Right then, why did the culprit take the phone from Agent Hicks? Must be because of something very incriminating in or on it.
Hold it!
Hold it! What now, Mars Edgeworth? It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone. What? Inside the phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence. That will point us to our killer. Let's do it. The screen's cracked. The LCD's broken. Without a screen, you can't even place a call with this. It's a camera lens. Come to think of it, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of the smuggling? Francesca, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about that kind of basic stuff. I mean, I take so many dick pics every day, and my phone's basically the same model as his, so...
Unlike your small weenie pics, this looks like a very similar model to my own. And mine can take photos just fine.
I think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this. In particular, pictures as evidence for his smuggling case. If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos in here of our killer smuggler. The phone's all busted up, sir.
Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone.
I'll find a way, don't you worry about that.
May I go back to sleep now?
Objection!
Your CD screens on the inside and on the outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. What? What do you mean by that, Francesca? Looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. Yeah, I mean, just because you break a screen doesn't mean you get rid of all of the insides. What are you talking about? You could easily hook it up to a computer and take out the data. Come on. Anyone knows about that. This phone still rang when I called it, meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. It's possible that the photos are still there inside, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone. Francesca, your phone, if you please.
Very well.
It's transferring.
Alright, displaying it now.
This is... Agent Hicks was most certainly trying to obtain some evidence for his smuggling case. Hey, the Aleph reads nowhere to be seen in this picture.
This has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right?
Yeah, she's right. There's nothing much we can find out about this from Agent Hicks' killer, sir. Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this photo that we can use? Well, the number on the ground is completely covered by boxes when it isn't here. What's all this? Oh, they're a cargo ship from Virginia to Zenfar. So the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off in Zenfar. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of these boxes? Fortunately, there's no English written on them anywhere.
One cluster of boxes is written in Borginian. It says...
It is cloth in English. Cloth. Could it be? Is this where the killer... What? What for is that scary face? Miss Meal.
Yes?
It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence after all. A striking piece that will point out who his killer is.
Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth.
The Borginian cargo and this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer. Ah, the Borginian cloth.
What's that supposed to prove?
The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilt. There's one thing that bothered me about this whole time. Where did it come from? And now I've finally found my answer in this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Zengfar had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. That's where the killer grabbed a piece of... to clean up the blood with. Sorry, my nose is clogging up again. That's right. The killer was someone who could read and understand Virginian. And the only crew member that fits that description is you, Miss Camille.
That's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Virginian.
Objection!
Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature.
What?
There was no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Virginian well, then logically the killer would have opened this box first. Bed sheets. Hey, it says bed sheets in English right on the box right there, sir. Precisely. And bed sheets would be perfect, except for cleaning up bloods, wouldn't you say?
So what are you trying to say?
If I were the criminal, this box of bed sheets would have been the one I would have spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Virginian cloth.
Do you have an explanation for that?
The killer didn't want anyone to know the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold. So they were afraid to leave signs that the box for the sheets had been opened. However, the Virginian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color. Because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zhengfa? That's right. That is why the Virginian cloth was used. And the only Virginian reader on board who could make such a calculated decision is you, Camille, and yet you alone. It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the Zhengfa authorities in time. We may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer within those boxes. So what do you say, Miss Meal? Why not confess to your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from an investigation in Zhengfa? Oh my god!
He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared I was in trouble. Hey.
March 12th, 5:26 p.m. Flight G390. First floor lounge. We finished making all the arrangements to take in the suspect, sir. Very good, detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? They're taking her down to the precinct now. Hopefully we can get more out of her there. Yeah, we kinda ran around with her. Whenever we even approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. It was scary, sir. She probably wasn't prepared to commit a crime all of a sudden. One thing's for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. Looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye.
Mr. Edgeworth, I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much.
It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation.
But truly, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Instead, I can continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant. I hope that... Well, please accept this as a token of my appreciation.
That's...
I see. You don't have to take it with you if you don't want it.
No, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer. Of course, I would... Pretty little lady giving me a suitcase.
Thank you. We're sure to serve you well. And remember, we here at GoU Airlines are always ready to serve, Mr. Edgeworth.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
I must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue no matter where you go.
Can't believe we wound up investigating the whole day, sure, but boy, it was sure fun. I love looking for murderers. Speak for yourself, my day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. Again. the way, where's Francesca? Ah, she's filing out some customs paperwork for her departure. Departure? Yeah, Miss Von Kamma's really busy, sir. She's been flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding her case. That is a $1,200 bag. We could resell it. Upsell it to Detective Gumshoe, maybe? Put him on a put him on a payment plan. Detective, can you cancel the car I had you reserve earlier? You got it, sure. Francesca. I thought I told you when I first landed I have no time for idle chatter. No intention of wasting your time. However, it has been a while since we last met. No time for familiar reminiscences. Just who do you think I am? You're Francesca Von Kamma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect. Wait till a little while ago I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. Disappearing, living her life on the name and fame of her invincible father built. True, your father, Manfred Von Kamma, didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I wouldn't say he was invincible. What are you talking about? You know, when we kicked his ass, me and Phoenix Wright. The group I'm on trial is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time is only one silver lining of the big picture. Sounds like a dangerous assignment. You really don't have to worry. I can take care of myself. Yes, suppose you can. Plus, there's another agent on this case with me. Oh, another agent. He's a star among Interpol agents, and has the highest success rate this far. Who knows, you may even run into him one day. I was simply caught up in this one case. I hardly see why we would cross paths. I suppose, but I doubt he would say the same. It's not Phoenix Wright, is it? He's had 3 months. Has he become an Interpol agent? Or maybe it's fucking Larry Butts? I don't know. I'm not following you. You'll understand soon enough. The fight's only just begun, Miles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back in full. And just like that, she's gone, huh, sure? Thank goodness, I can finally rest easy knowing I won't have to watch out for a whip. Something smells, it's usually the butts. Oh, God. Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for your help and cooperation. I don't know how if he is, he can't. There's no way he's an Interpol agent. I know he somehow became a security guard, but come on. No way, no way. He is not competent. Sure, it was nothing, sure. I was just happy to be working with you again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go celebrate by adding a little extra salt to my instant noodles tonight. So much did you cut his salary by, Francesca? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office? Sure thing, sure. I'll even fly down the road in the patrol car if you want. Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first. Thus I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Francesca Von Kamma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play. The players on the other side of this war. They would begin to make themselves known through the next incident. Edgeworth speaking. Finally, I called who knows how many times earlier, but I couldn't get through. And you are? Ah, you've forgotten my voice, Miles, my boy? Oh, is this Miles, my boy? Mr. Armano? Ernest Armano, correct? Okay. No? So you do remember me. know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son, he's been kidnapped. Is Ernest... He's not the big guy with the mustache, right? That's who I thought it was at first, because he called him his boy. Have we met this character before? Is this a new character? Turnabout Airlines. Fun. Well, there you go. Who? Okay. The higher up defense attorney that was kind of like a guide for Mia. He was heavily involved in the first case. Armando's Godot's last name, yeah, but it was Armano. Yes, Grossberg! Yep, it's not Grossberg. Completely different name. The kidnap turnabout. This reminds me of, when our dear sweet Maya was kidnapped. Don't worry, Miss Edgeworth, I'll be following your every movement with my binoculars. Good to hear. Now make sure you don't lose sight of me. I'm counting on you for backup. You can count on me, sure. I have to go. The kidnapper is supposed to contact me soon. Who would have thought that upon my return, I'd be thrust into a kidnapping case? And that I would be the one who would have to make the ransom drop off. Oh, he's using the suitcase. That's nice. Let's see. Check that the money is all safe here inside my suitcase. Well... Okay, wait, I can't save. All I have to do is wait for further instructions from the kidnapper. Which I'm expecting to be transferred to my cell phone. I wonder who else is around. This is a meeting place after all. Sweet skatewater. Oh my god! It's him! It's him! And it's the statue that Gumshoe made. Welcome to Gatewater Land! Oh, thank you. Oh, it's a remix of the classic song. And a big hello to you! I'm the Proto Badger. Nice to meet you. Is this Larry? Excuse me, but were you perhaps thinking of taking a picture with me? A picture? Of you? Sorry, but I'm not interested. Oh, that's too bad. Well, have a good day. Who are you? You are not Ernest Armando. It's like the kidnapper's using some sort of voice alteration device. I'm his representative, Miles Edgeworth. Are you a cop? No, I'm a prosecutor. I know what you're wondering, and yes, I have brought the ransom money with me. I see. In that case, bring the money with you to the stadium. So this person intends to see if I'm being followed. Please, Detective Gumshoe, I really need you to come through for me in this one. So, this guy's still the police mascot, right? Why is he all over this area? Edgeworth speaking. Next, come to the haunted house. Just how long do you intend to have me wander around for? That's for me to decide. You don't have much of a choice here, my friend. I suppose not. I've arrived. Collins. Hi. Oh, that's a fun trick. What a dismal place. Let's check. Oh, those doors. Am I being watched from somewhere? Well, there was a mascot slumped. Hey, the money. No, no. I was hoping for an exchange, but maybe I should do as they say and not push it. Couldn't even catch a glimpse of the kidnapper. Perhaps I should keep an eye on this haunted house until police backup arrives. Oh, we're still going. Oh, he's gonna get up! Oh! He's got a sword! Edgeworth, look out! Edgeworth! He can't hear us, he's got AirPods in! It was a trap! That guy betrayed. No, can't be. Then the deal. The victim in this case is Edgeworth himself. Are we dead? Am I dead? Who's that? What are they talking about? Split police. Alright. In front of meetup. Can't move my body. I fear I may faint again. No, they just knocked us out. Wow, look at all these cool costumes. I'm glad the mascot for the police force really took off. Where am I? How long was I out? It wasn't raining like it is now when I made the drop-off. This was supposed to be a simple affair. So why have I been taken hostage as well? I only assume that Detective Gumshoe lost sight of me at some point. Well, I think that's a good place to end for today. Being kidnapped. That's a great stopping point. A perfect cliffhanger. Well, everybody, we're gonna leave Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Edgeworth Investigations here for today. We have quite a lot to do. I'm going to be moving over on to Astrobot for a couple hours, and then tomorrow we have Persona 3 Reloads DLC. Can't confidently say how bad this is. I've seen not a significant amount of people saying it's as bad as or as worse as the other one in the running. So this is a people don't like this case. This is a bad case. It had a strong intro. Yeah, we'll be the judge of that. Some problems. Okay, okay. Well, we'll figure that out. I don't know when we'll figure that out, because we have Persona 3 DLC tomorrow. But hopefully we'll be able to do a double stream. Yes, we're doing Astrobot now. Just give me like 10 minutes to prepare. Don't remember hating it, but it's been several years. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll be back, well, either tomorrow or Wednesday with more Ace Attorney. Goodbye, VOD Frogs. Have a wonderful day. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.